Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot. Do a little bit of a channel update today and just talk about some different things regarding the channel. I am having a lot of fun doing YouTube, so I plan on continue doing it for the foreseeable future. I see no reason to stop because I'm having a blast, and I really like sharing stories from back in the day with you guys and just commenting on video game news and all kinds of stuff. Now, a lot of you, I'm sure, have noticed that I've been doing non-gaming related stuff as well, like, rock and roll stories and, celebrity deaths and things like that. And someone called me morbid for commenting on celebrity deaths, and I don't know why a YouTuber can't do it, whereas it's perfectly fine for a vlogger or a, just someone on their blog or a news commentator to comment on it, but not a YouTuber. Sorry, I can comment on stuff that's important to me. And when I do comment on celebrity deaths, it's always a celebrity that has impacted my life in some way or another, someone that's been important to me and that had an impact on, my appreciation of pop culture or in some deeper way. So I plan on continuing to do those as well. But just let me know in the comments if you like some of the non-gaming related stuff as well. But the channel will always be focused primarily on video games, retro gaming in particular. So recently I've been doing TikTok as well. These are 59-second videos or shorter. So it is a more superficial platform than YouTube. But Neil deGrasse Tyson does TikTok, and he does little scientific facts on TikTok. So how superficial could it be? But I'm having fun over there. If you haven't downloaded the app on your phone, check it out. It's just go to the App Store and download TikTok and give me a follow. I'm Brett Weiss Retro Gamer on there, and I recently hit 1,000 followers, and I think that's kind of funny because I'm pretty new at it and just having fun over there. There is some pretty decent retro gaming content on TikTok, and it's just quick little bits of facts or fun things or top fives or whatever. But it is fun, and so I hope you guys will join me over there. I will put a link in the description. So the person who edits my YouTube videos, my Tales from a Retro Gamer episodes, who puts the intro and the outro in, plugs those in and puts in photos and occasional supplemental video footage, is stepping down. Luckily, someone is going to take his place. It may be a little more infrequent. It is a volunteer position, and this person just volunteered without even me asking. I just mentioned that, my editor was stepping down, and they said, hey, I'll do it. What the heck? Send me the video, and I'll, plug in photos and, nip and tuck here and there and, do what you need me to do. And, if someone out here in the audience, if you want to edit the occasional video, let me know. You can contact me a number of different ways. Just go to brettweisswords.com or on Twitter at brettweisschvg. You'll find ways. Just give me a shout if you're interested in editing the occasional video just for fun or just to be show support or just to be part of the channel. You guys may have seen the video. I've recently become the editor-in-chief for the ColecoVision Club magazine being put on by Coopvision's magazine. It's awesome. I'm having a lot of fun putting it together. The Super Game module is great. You plug it into your ColecoVision and you can play opcode games on there. Like their forthcoming Donkey Kong game has 4 screens, and all 4 screens from the arcade. Better graphics and sounds than the original ColecoVision version, and all kinds of bells and whistles. Really great version of the game. And so I'm really proud of my association with Opcode Games. Thank you, Eduardo Mello, for that. That's awesome. I'm really excited about that. As a matter of fact, regarding Opcode Games, they had talked about putting together a club a few years ago, and it never came about. But this one is definitely going to happen. But they had originally put together a magazine for the Coopvision's club, or whatever they were calling it back then, and they never published it. But patrons to my Patreon page, the upper tiers, have an exclusive look at this magazine. They got a PDF for that. And it's never going to be published anywhere else, this particular magazine, this PDF. And so I like to give my patrons to my page, a lot of interesting and unusual perks and some really behind-the-scenes stuff, some stuff no one else will ever see. Just recently, you remember the Intellivision, some of you may remember the Intellivision Girlfriend episode I did. I talked about this girl that I dated who had an Intellivision, and we had a lot of fun playing that, and I talked about some funny things with her, and just how this led me to liking, more action-oriented Intellivision games. And for my patrons, I found, the other day I found her photo with a note she had written to me on the back, and that went out to my Patreon, patrons, to my Patreon page, and so that's a lot of funny. I found a really super awkward photo of me wearing a Tasmanian Devil shirt that my mother-in-law got me that I never wore again, holding a Super Game Boy that I was proud to get. Such an awkward picture with my giant hair, giant glasses and big hair, very awkward photo, patrons only, but I throw in fun, goofy stuff like that, but also substantive stuff like digital magazines, a digital copy of Memoirs of a Virtual Caveman by Rob Strangeman, and a digital copy of Every Game Has a Story by Stacy Burns of Console Purist. These are two really good books, free to my patrons, upper levels. And you can join my Patreon page for as little as $1 a month, but some of the upper tiers get some really neat exclusives like these digital books. Really awesome. There's also interviews on my Patreon page, like say I interview someone and it's a long interview and I just cull a few quotes. Patrons will get the entire interview, things like that. Behind the scenes photos like I'd mentioned. Now speaking of my Patreon page, Pete Noel has a Patreon question. He asks, what era do you consider the cutoff between retro and modern games? So that's a great question. These days, a lot of people consider the PlayStation 2 retro, which seems kind of weird to me. I mean, it is getting on in years. It came out in 2000, 20 years ago, hard to believe. The Dreamcast came out in '99 and the Xbox came out in 2001. That era of gaming and back, a lot of people consider that retro gaming. I guess I have to accept that. In my top 50 retro games of all time, I did include games from those platforms, as, eligible for the top 50 retro games. So I guess I'm a part of that now. But for years, I considered Nintendo 64 and PlayStation and back. The N64 came out in '96, and the PlayStation came out in '94 in Japan and '95 in the US. And forever, I considered that and back. Not forever, because at one point I considered those modern games because they were new, but you know what I mean. For a number of years, I've considered that and back retro, but I guess I have to consider PS2 and Xbox and Dreamcast and back retro. So join the crowd, right? So let's get to my favorite Zelda game. The t-shirt obviously gives it away. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. I like it because it keeps the awesome 2D action overhead view of the original Legend of Zelda for the NES, a game I absolutely love and I'm super nostalgic for. The original Legend of Zelda is a close second, but I like Link to the Past even more. I love that Link has a beam attack and he can throw boulders and lift heavy items and has a dash attack. More action in this game than in the original. It's got just a beautiful sweeping musical score. And the graphics are even better, better than the original Legend of Zelda, of course, being on the Super Nintendo. And Zelda hadn't gone into the 3D mode yet, like with Ocarina of Time, another great game, but still, I still love me some 2D Zelda. So Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, my favorite all-time Zelda game. So guys, in the comments, what do you want to see from the channel? What do you like and not like about the channel? Should I keep doing gameplay footage? Is the celebrity death thing, does that put you off? What do you think about that? But I'm having a blast, and when something strikes me, I like to share it with you guys. If a celebrity death is meaningful, impactful to me, I'm probably going to talk about it to you guys if I have a chance. What is your favorite Legend of Zelda game? Put that in the comments as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for helping me reach well over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube and over 1,000 followers on YouTube, on TikTok. I really appreciate it. Thanks for everything. All right, guys, we will talk to you later. Peace out.